Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day and that it keeps getting better. If you are enjoying the content, please take a moment to smash that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. We are going to get into some Indiana Fever news, or maybe a sort of news, a little bit of speculation, but it's interesting nonetheless, especially with the timing and going into the stretch run with the way the team's been playing and setting up for the playoffs and some of the other things we've talked about in terms of players available that they might be able to go out and get. And, Sims in Dallas is as one example that I just talked about in a recent video. So, as you may have know at this point, I didn't get a chance to do a video on it, but the Indianapolis has gotten the All-Star Game for next year. So, of course, the players would be asked about that. So, we got a couple of different clips with Kelsey Mitchell. For those of you that don't know, Kelsey Mitchell is a free agent at the end of the season. So, I want to play this one first. So, first, she's going to get asked about the All-Star Game next year. And I just find this is really interesting. Let's watch this. It's about 15 seconds long. Let's see if I can full screen this so you can see her, because the facial expressions play a role in this.
I guess I was excited. Obviously, I've been in Indy the last years of my life, but I'm excited that Indy get a chance to host it. Shouts out to Indy for that. So I'm excited for them in the city.
Okay, let's start with that. Wow. Everything about that screams, I am not going to be an Indiana Fever next season. Now, look, obviously that's up in the air. Lots of things can change. We've still got a good, 35% left of the season, plus whatever the playoffs are. You've got the whole off season. I think there'll be a lot of changes for the Indiana Fever. So, of course, it's up in the air until she either resigns or signs elsewhere. Anything can happen. But all of that, to me, is a player that is planning on leaving if she can get the deal she thinks she can get. Right? That's the key, too. There are times, despite this era of ridiculously overspending for talent in all sports, there are times where players go out and test and they are not getting the offers that they think they're going to get, and they end up re-signing for that reason. But this really does sound to me like someone who is not planning on coming back. She did get asked specifically, and we'll get into that in a little bit as a follow-up, but I want to play this first before I get too much into it, because she also is asked specifically about free agency here.
Obviously, with it being here next season, your contract is up after this season. Have you had any kind of talks with returning or any idea with that?
No, I don't know anything. I haven't even, let the thought cross my mind. I'm just kind of staying in it right now. But, those conversations are going to have to be had. And, I'm going to do what's best for me. It's always going to be a business. So I'm excited to, explore that idea. I've never been in free agency in my professional career, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
So, also interesting to me, just from experience over the years and hearing a lot of potential free agents talk, usually when they're the ones coming out and saying it's a business before the team has ever said anything, before talks are even being had, they're looking to leave. they're looking to leave. They're not holding out a lot of hope that they're going to get what they want where they are, and they may not even want to get what they want where they are. So, just in looking at this, and like I said, we don't know for sure. Obviously, the fact that no talks are going on, I think maybe if this was, well, I don't think that's much of a signal. I know you get a lot of times in, your I don't want to say major sports, people will scream in the comments, it's major, but you know what I mean. Well, they're NFL is a great example. I'll tell you as an Eagle fan, right? Hassan Reddick has another year on his contract, but as a lot of these guys do when they think they're in demand enough to get big money and get multiple offers, they want a deal done going into their final year of their current contract because they don't want to risk injury and or a really bad season or anything else like that. The Eagles ended up trading Hassan Reddick. They traded him to the Jets. Guess what? He's been holding out in New York, and now he wants to trade. So that's kind of interesting, but that's what happens with a lot of players. So the fact that talks haven't been going on at all makes me wonder if she's already decided, at the very least, to test it. That's the other thing. She can test it and then still come back. Now, it's interesting that I've seen a number of people on Twitter talk about wanting Kelsey Mitchell to come back. And I got to tell you, if I'm looking at it from an Indiana Fever perspective, if you're putting me in charge of building that team, I don't want Kelsey Mitchell to come back. And like she said, it's a business, right? So she's on a max contract. So I'm looking at what that money can do elsewhere that's going to be more effective in terms of the type of team that you want to build. Kelsey Mitchell brings a certain aspect to the court that can be very good. She is athletic, she's quick and explosive, she can run the court. And I think with the way the Fever have been playing lately, and she's made some big buckets, because again, streaky shooters, scorers, they will do that. When they go on a run, like Enrique did in the All-Star game, and they can do that sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 games, it is amazing. And you think, wow, but you start thinking of them as much better than they truly are because you forget about all the times when they're clanging a ton of shots, but they don't bring other things to the game, right? Kelsey Mitchell can't rebound. She's not a rebounder. And look, I don't expect her to get a ton. She's a two guard, but in WNBA, well, even in the NBA nowadays, I mean, guards are expected to get more than a rebound or two. She should be able to grab some more boards. She doesn't. She doesn't do that. She doesn't get any assists because she never passes the ball. She's a black hole when she gets the ball. Okay, she's. We all know about the lack of ability to catch passes, right? I mean, we haven't forgotten about this, have we? I mean, that's awful looking, and there have been a whole lot of those this season. A whole lot of those. I've done videos with them, so you can go find them. And then there's also let me see if I can bring this up because there's also stuff like this. Have we forgotten stuff like this? This is a huge one. Okay, so we get this. I have no problem taking this. No problem taking that. Boom, gets the rebound right there. Okay, she has Caitlin Clark wide open, still wide open. She could stop. Kelsey Mitchell has that athletic ability. She could stop right now and hand that back to Caitlin Clark. But from the second she grabbed it to now, Caitlin Clark is wide open for a three, and she doesn't get it. But it made so much worse. Let me dribble there. Let me dribble back. Let me dribble the other way. Let me do a full circle all the way out here. Caitlin Clark, if you notice, and then another terrible shot. And if you notice, Caitlin Clark basically shows her disgust at this point. So now you watched everything Mitchell does. Look at Clark, right? She's like her hands up in the air. She's giving up this. She's shaking her head. She's disgusted with this nonsense. And even there at the bottom of the corner, you could see the ridiculous there. The other thing that worries me about what she is saying and the body language is if that's going to affect the rest of the season for Kelsey Mitchell, if she's checked out. Of course, the other thing could be that she elevates her play because she wants to get a big contract somewhere else. She wants interest other places. Of course, the flip side of that is what I was just going through is does that mean she becomes even more of a black hole and she's more interested in putting up numbers than she is in helping the team win? But again, speculation, but that's what we do with sports, right? We're always curious who's staying, who's going, what trades can be made, who's available, how's the team going to be better next season? And I think for the Indiana Fever building for the future, that it's okay for Kelsey Mitchell to go out and sign a free agent deal elsewhere. I don't know that that's the best thing for her. I mean, she could be better off taking less money with what's being built in Indianapolis and make more money other ways and endorsements, even if local, right? I'm sure all of you who pay attention to other sports see your athletes in commercials for different things that are more local, right? I see it here all the time with Sixers and Eagles and so forth, whether it, car dealerships or banks or whatever it is. So that could be an opportunity for her. But it may come down to the fact that she doesn't like playing with Caitlin Clark, who's going to be, obviously, if Kelsey Mitchell were to say, Caitlin Clark's going to be the focal point of that team with Aliyah Boston, right? So there's even another one before we get to Kelsey Mitchell. And if the Fever go out and make a splash in free agency, she may want to be more of a focal point at another franchise than she would be in Indianapolis going forward. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Kelsey Mitchell's going to leave? If she does, does it matter to you? Do you think they're better off? Do you think they should try and keep her if they can? Um, but yeah, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for checking out this video, and I will talk to you later. Oh, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not yet. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to you later.